What multi-tool comes to mind when I say American made multi-tool, the greatest of all time? Probably you're thinking of the Leatherman PST. So this comes out around the 1980s, and you've got finally a great tool set. You've got knives, you've got screwdrivers, you've got awls, you've got files, and all kinds of things, can openers, a nice set of pliers that all comes in a 5.2 ounce package, 4 inches long. Now, if I was to say, all right, think of another multi-tool that's really the best American multi-tool, you might think of the first generation Leatherman Wave. So you've got a whole bunch of outside accessible tools. You've got saws, you've got knives, and you do have a file. Again, big thanks to Richard for sending this to the channel. And then on the inside, you have some scissors and some extra tools as well. So all kinds of good things packed into the Leatherman Wave, the original model. All right, so I want to give to you the case of the Barnett multi-tool. This will be actually, I think, one of the most important multi-tools in your collection because this signifies the first ever mass-produced multi-tool in the US. So now, by 1900, obviously, Victorinox has already entered the scene, but some people say that Victorinox really did not gain much traction until World War II, or at least the end of World War I, when soldiers start bringing them home from overseas. And so by around 1900, there are not any mass-produced multi-tools. Now, there are multi-tools, but again, not mass-produced. And so again, this info is from the Wiki multi-tool page, and Mr. Lewis in California patents this idea, and then the Barnett Tool Company makes this up north. So this is a really cool multi-tool, and the more that we look at it, the more I'm amazed by the engineering and just the solid construction of engineers in times and days past. So when we look at this, we have a fairly solid construction. Again, we've got 2 handle pieces. This piece right here forms part of the handle. And so we've got a fairly solid connection. This multi-tool is 123 years old. And I have to say that it may be more solid than some of my brand new multi-tools that I get in the mail. One of the cool things about this is, and again, I don't know if I can get this to focus right, but this particular one was made November 20th, I believe it says, of 1900. And so anyway, that's what it says on the date right there. So on the inside right here, there are some hard wire cutters for cutting barbed wire fence for those doing livestock and, again, a lot of farmers back in the day. And what I think is really cool about this is it does look like a standard pocket knife, but it has a lot more functions. Like take, for instance, this ingenious hoof pick at the back of the pliers. So again, these pliers are fairly comfortable in the hand. Again, you'll notice that this is rounded right here, so you don't have a ton of rough edges. Now, again, you don't want the hoof pick necessarily digging into you, but if you hold it back here, that shouldn't be a problem. When we come to the knife, this knife has definitely seen some grinding over the years. It's not supposed to look like this. It's supposed to be a lot more rounded. But again, it is still holding up 123 years later. And then we have an additional tool right here. And this is still a fairly, it's a fairly strong frame right here. And so here we have the awl as well. And this would have been very useful for leather work, and you could literally do repairs by the roadside, so that's pretty cool as well. Now, this multi-tool, these multi-tools rather, do go for $100 to $200 on eBay usually. Sometimes you'll have some in very nice condition where people want to charge $400. If you wait long enough, you can get one for around $400. Now, this one right here had some work done to it. So part of this wood, these wood scales had broken, and someone actually fixed mine. And then obviously the knife is in pristine condition, so this made it a little bit cheaper. But when we look at all the functions that are here, And here's a look at some of the inner of the tool right here. Pretty cool. And then you can see, again, the lock, the back right here. So pretty cool tool. And I am thrilled to have this in my collection. I've been looking for it for a fairly long time. And I have had this for a little bit, but I've just been waiting for the right time to share it with you guys. So I think this is a great multi-tool to add to your collection. Again, on eBay will be your best chance to get one of these. Probably 120 or under 150 is the most you want to spend on this, but it is a really cool collection piece, and I hope that helps. Now, I want to, again, just make this comparison. Solid Power Pint is 4.2 ounces. This comes in at 3.8 ounces or 107 grams. So you can see how small this Barnett multi-tool is and how pocketable it is. So a really great option from 123 years ago. Pretty amazing.